Okay, so just a quick little video to explain why we will always suggest that when you're doing inset mosaic crochet that you work your trebles in front of the chains rather than over them. I know it's tempting to work over the chains because that will make the back look the same as the front, but I'm hoping this little video will just show to you why I don't recommend you do that. So I've already got started with my sort of foundation rows, and the first row in my contrast color where I've worked like a short pattern of 1 double crochet, 4 chain, miss 3 stitches basically across. So what I'm now going to do on the first few, we're going to work as I would show you in the instructions. So my recommended way, which is to work your trebles. So you're going the trebles in there and make sure your hook is in front of those chains. So I'm going to work 2, 3 trebles in there. Okay, and now we're going to miss this stitch, so that means we need 2 chains, and then we'll go down here, do the same again. So 1, 2, 3 trebles, all working in front of the chains. Okay, then again 2 chains, miss that stitch, and again 3 trebles in front there. Okay, so now when I get to the rest of this row, I'm now going to start working over the chains. Whoops, pick that up. So I'm still going to do 2 chains there for that one. Actually, no, what I'm going to do, I'll work into that one. That will then signify the middle. So we're not going to do a stripe there, we're just going to work into that one. So now this is what a lot of people will be tempted to do, because they don't like the chains on the back, is to work over the chains. So if we do that, oh, I'm still not trying to go in front. It's so alien to me to work over it. And 3 trebles. So already you can see it looks different on the front. Hope you can see this. When we've worked in front of the chains, that looks a lot sort of neater. You can see there's less of the back, the contrast colour showing through. So I'll still do our 2 chain to miss that one, and then I'm going to work over the chains again there. 1, 2, 3, and one last time. So 2 chain, miss that stitch. Ooh, excuse me. And 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just end with 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, and I've just got a couple of edge stitches left there. Okay, so say already, hopefully you can see the difference there. So now I'm gonna, the return row will be exactly the same as always on an inset. So it's a turning chain, and we're just going to work our way back, doing double crochets in every stitch. And where we've got, they're all 2 chain spaces there, so it'll be 2 chains, miss the chain spaces, and then work into our trebles again. Okay, so really obvious of looking at the back the difference. So obviously you can see we've got our chains at the back there, and we've kind of worked over them there. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back and basically do our little, we've got 4 chains, so it's the same sort of pattern because we're going to be doing some vertical stripes. So I've got 4 chains, miss those 3 stitches, and then I'm going to work my treble there in front of the chain spaces. 2, 3, 4 chains, and the treble in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're just going to work in there, so that signifies the gap between the 2. So now I'm going to do the same 4 chains, but we're going to be working over these chain spaces from the last 2 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, and now we're going to work over that chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Work over it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and work over that one. And now finish there. So I'm now just going to whisk back and do as normal with the double crochet in all the stitches and chain over every chain, and then we'll come back and we'll do the next row of the main colour. Okay, so here we are. I've just now completed the second lot in my contrast colour there, and this is obviously the back, so you can still see, you can see that obviously we've got the stripes here with the chains behind, and this is the half that I've done where I've worked over. So on the back it's really, really obvious. Okay, so we'll just go back and do one more lot of the main colour. So start with my edge stitches, and so as I say, in this first bit we are working our trebles in front of the chains, which is the way I always recommend in my patterns. Oops, try again. And then we've got 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, 3 trebles. So again, in front of the chains, 2 chain, miss 1, and the last little section in front. Work into there, and now I'm just going to go as we did before, work over the chains on the second half of this row. So still got all 3 trebles, but we're working over the chains from the previous 2 rows. 2 chain, miss that stitch, work over, there we go. Nearly there. And 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, and then we'll just stick a couple of double crochets there. So there, I think you can see the difference there. So the bit as per my patterns, you can see your lines keep nice and straight, nice and neat. You don't see too much of the contrast colour through the back. On this bit where we've worked over the chains, you can see a little bit more of the chains actually sticking through the stitches, and also we've got these kind of bulges, so they're not such nice straight lines. So turn over onto the back, you'll see, yeah, okay, the back does look more or less the same as the front, but it's still got these bulges in the lines. So this hopefully will illustrate to you why I always say work your trebles 3 rows down, work them in front of the chains. So there we go, that's the back, and there we are on the right side.